Okay, so here we are finally with part 3 of the Line 6 M13 Stomp Box Modeler review, in which we actually get to, quote, play the damn thing. Thank you for some of your kinder and gentler comments online. I think you're talking about the stupidest stuff was one of my favorites. Anyway, so we've talked about what it does, how it works, ins and outs. We're going to play some a little bit. I'm a hack guitar player, so there you go. We're doing the best we can. Our basic setup here is a Gibson ES335 modified with DiMarzio pickups, but they're the ones that are supposed to model the they're modeled after the original pickups that were on these when I bought it, and then I changed them out because I'm an idiot. Going into a Line 6 spider valve amp using the Vox Tripper preset. No changes, just the factory preset. That's a Vox AC30 model. And that's the amp alone. Everything on the M13 bypassed. That's both pickups active. And as you can see, it breaks up a bit as you get it up louder, just like a real amp. Hey. Okay, and again, that's clean, or at least no effects. I've set up a scene on this particular unit that is good for what I do. In the first bank, we have distortion. It starts with a tube compressor, goes up to a tube screamer, and then a channel tube drive. Let's listen to those a little bit. Again, drive. And that's with the volume at about 7 on the guitar. And then the tube screamer. And finally the tube drive. Okay, and that works for me for what I do. I don't use any of the really metal distortions, so that works just fine. And bypass that. In the modulation bank, the way I have it set up, I have a phase shifter start, a classic MXR phase shifter. In the second position, a opto vibrato, real subtle. I use it for things like has a real Creedence Clearwater kind of vibe going. I like that a lot. And then in the last one, we have an analog chorus. I think that's modeled after the old CE1. Don't use it very often, but it's nice to have it there. In the delay bank, again, the way I have it set up, and you can do this. Remember, any of these buttons can represent any of the stomp boxes that are modeled. So as you'll see, there's one scene in here that's every single button is a delay. Okay, so this is just the way I set it up. And I start out with a analog echo and move up to a tape echo, and then a tube echo, each one of them set a little differently. You've got the tap tempo button down here. If you hold that, the whole thing becomes a tuner, real easy to use. But you can tap in your tempo on either modulation or your delays. So, like on the tape echo, it's set there for a dotted eighth note, and if you only need to do it twice. But listen, if you okay, so I really like being able to just sit and, as my drummer counts off, hit the last couple with him, and then know that when I'm in time. In the final bank, I'm not using the top one yet. I'm going to in a second. I'm going to show you how to set one up. I have reverbs here from the Verbzilla. This one I pretty much leave on all the time. It's a 63 spring reverb. Just a nice little bit of reverb, and if I want something heavier, it's still a 63. It's just set a lot harder. Okay, and then, so again, I tend to leave that on.